Hello friends! So in my Boredom Buster bag, I found a canvas that has a template already drawn on it. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips and tricks and some techniques that you may want to use on your canvas once you get it home. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my sponge, and I like to wet my sponge before I start to use it. It kind of activates it a little bit. And I'm going to sponge in the background, the water. Maybe dip it in the blue, and we're going to sponge this blue in here. I can take my sponge and dip it in the blue and then dip it in a little bit of the white. So then it has two different colors on it. So it's got the blue and it has the white on it. And that's going to give it a different look too. Okay, so if you have a bottle cap at home, you can use this to make bubbles. You're just going to dip it in the white and use it kind of like a stamp. You're going to just press and twist. You could even flip it over and try the other side. If you don't have a bottle cap at home, try the lid that came in your Boredom Buster bag. I'm going to mix up a little bit of orange. So when I want to mix up a little bit of orange, I'm going to bring that yellow over, because yellow tends to be a bit of a weaker color. And I'm going to add my red into my yellow. And I'm going to paint my octopus in orange. And the reason I think orange will look awesome is because I've already done a blue background, and orange is blue's complement, so it's right across the color wheel, so I thought it would look really good. It would just make it pop. If you want to add a little bit of texture to your octopus, then I'm going to tap my brush in here, thinking about where it's going to be just a little bit darker, like where the shadows may be. So I'm going to tap in, adding a little bit of darker, more opaque orange. Okay, so I think I'm gonna mix up a bit of green for the bottom here. And when I'm gonna mix my green, it's going to be yellow and blue. And remember what I said about yellow? Yellow tends to be the weaker color. So I'm gonna add the yellow first and then add the blue into it. And I think I'm gonna sponge this bottom with the green. And I'm going to dip it in the blue, so I get a little bit of a blue-green look. So if I want to darken this green up just a little bit, I'm going to add in the slightest, smallest, tiniest amount of black, and that creates a shade of green. So if I add white, it's a tint, and it will lighten it up, and if I add black, it's a shade. So I just want to darken this green just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a a technique where I can put 2 different colors on my brush. So I'm gonna dip this in the green, load my brush with green, and then I'm gonna take the very edge of this brush and dip it in the white. So now I have green and white on my brush, and I'm going to use it to create the seaweed. And if you twist your brush as you come up, it's going to give it a more realistic, growing, flowing, seaweedy look. You can also take the brush, dip it in the green, and then dip it in the black. You just want an ever so slightly bit of black. So if you love doing art online and you want to know what else we have to offer, because we have some really great classes upcoming, check out our website, artsmartacademy.com, and you can find a lot of resources and see what we have coming up. Join us on Facebook every day. We're doing a drawing a day to make this world a more beautiful place. So thank you for joining me, and happy creating!